Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I have something very exciting to show you. With the new reveals, we got the dragon reveal, we have the Kuma reveals, a bunch of reveals from OP-12. I have finally managed to cook up a complete deck list for OP-12 Koala, and it is looking very, very strong indeed. I mean, there's not really much to say. Let's just jump straight into the deck list. So here you have the deck list that I have concocted. I mean, since with the dragon, right, we started to change a little bit how we look at this. I've been cooking, like with every reveal, I've made a new deck list, and I have a couple of deck lists still. But with dragon, we realized kind of what the point, like what the purpose of the deck is going to be, what our boss monster is, how we get there and what we do with it. And I mean, this is some crazy, crazy stuff. Let's jump into some of the basics first, right? We have our one cost searcher koala. We have this at 4. This is a top 3 searcher that grabs a Rev Army or a Robin and then trashes the rest, right? So it's a good trash filler, and it searches for a Rev Army, which is basically our entire deck. I think we run like, what is this? We run these two, which are the only non-Rev Army cards, and then we run this, right, which is a Robin, which is also searchable. So we run this at 4 off because it's just a great card, right? It fills our trash, searches, does everything we want it to. And then down here, we have the one cost searcher event. I only have this at 2 off. I think now with the reveal of Dragon, you could definitely go up to 4 in this. It's definitely just like a preference thing. I think this is a great card. But we're running it at 2 for now because the deck space is kind of tight, honestly. We're running this at 2. Great searcher. Same effect as this, but it doesn't search Robin, right? So that's why it's a little bit worse. And also it's on an event and not a body, which also a little bit worse. So running this at 2, but the koala at 4. And then we're going to go into this here. We got Shirahoshi. We got Shirahoshi at 3. I mean, this is just the best blocker in like yellow, right? In yellow and black. It's such a good fucking blocker. The fact is that it can't be KO'd by effects, and if it's KO'd by effects, you get to heal 1, which it serves its purpose whether it's KO'd or not, right? So great card, just a 2 cost blocker that basically can't be removed. Super strong. We're running it at 3, and then we have our 3 cost Ivankov here, which is a blocker that on play trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Which first, when this card was first revealed, people were like, why the fuck would we ever play this? Like, with trash, we have nothing that interacts with trash, right? But then they dropped the dragon, which does interact with trash, needs you to have a big trash for him to get his, effect off. And Ivankov is just a great early game turn where you can play this for like 3, and then you can trash top 3, and then like you're basically good to go, right? So running this at 4, I wanted this to be starter deck 14 Nami originally. But with the dragon reveal, I mean, we're gonna have to see how hard it is to fill up the trash and like how badly we actually need this Ivankov. For now, this is Ivankov. But if it does end up to be like we don't really need it, we're trashing enough cards anyways with all our searching and stuff, then I think this should be starter deck 14 Nami, the one that on play draws a card if you control an 8 cost or more. But for now, it's gonna be Ivankov. And then we're going to go into our 2k counters. We have Morley here, which is like one of the best 2k counters ever. It's a 4 cost 5k 2k counter that when it's on the board, it becomes an 8 cost, right? It has plus 4 cost. Insane 2k counter, such a good card. And then we're running the Kuma here, which is just a searchable 2k with a trigger that it comes out of life if you have 5 or less life cards. Sorry, not you. You and your opponent has 5 or less life cards. You can play this for free. And it being a 4 cost means that it can be playable off other things like this koala over here, which is another card that, right, like I was like, oh, this probably doesn't really go in the deck. Like it fits good, but you don't have that many good targets to play. But now that we have the dragon, which if you don't know what the dragon does, it's you bottom deck 3 cards from your trash, 3 Rev Army cards from your trash, and then you can play a 6 cost or less character from your trash, right? So you can now go dragon into koala and then into a 4 or less, which at this moment is basically just Ivankov, Morley, and Kuma. But that's why this is really good. I think we have this at 2 off because I'm still not sure. I think we still need like 1 or 2 more 4 or less good Rev armies for this to be played. But we're running it at 2 off because it's just like, if we need it, it's good, right? I mean, it keeps hand size good. It's just such a good card in general. Mainly good in Bilobedi, obviously, but I think it could find a spot here, at least at like a 1 or 2 off, just in case you need to like block her up and go really wide or something. Then we have this 5-cost Sabo here. Everybody knows this Sabo. This Sabo is just fucking amazing, and you can play it off of the dragon, which means that you can make the dragon and this Sabo and your entire board immune to KO effects, right? And while also getting to fill your trash with a draw 2 trash 2. So it's great hand filtering while also like it serves every purpose, right? It's such a good card, but we're keeping it 2 off because I don't see myself like flat playing it for 5. We have way better options for that at this moment. But bringing it back off dragon could definitely be an interesting like thing. Like it's you want to have options, right? You want to make sure your trash is full with options. So having like 1 Koala, 1 Sabo, 1 Kuma, 1 Kuma, and 1 Robin in your trash is like optimal because then you can just pivot into doing whatever you want, right? So we have this at 2 for now. Great card. We have the new 5-cost Karasu. I was thinking of like cutting this down and not running this at 4. Again, until the dragon was revealed. Now you can go dragon and you can go into this Karasu. Now you have 2 8 costs. And you can swing with your leader ability and you can draw a card while also, this effect. Like, this is still a good card. Don't get me wrong. This is a really good card. It was just like a bit weird for what the build was looking like before, but with dragon, this is such a good card. And again, just something that you want to keep in your trash in case it like becomes a good play to do, right? Maybe cut it down a little bit. We're gonna have to wait and see for more reveals, but at this point, I have him at 4. Same with this Sabo here, right? This Sabo is just cracked. Because like if you're feeling comfortable, like you have a good amount of life, then you can just drop the dragon, go into this Sabo. This Sabo takes a life, and then it's draw 2, trash 1, and it's also an 8-cost 6k blocker, right? So you're drawing 3, you're trashing 1, you're gaining hand size back, right? Like it's similar to Koala in that way, where it's just like you play it and you just gain hand size. And hand size is like, since we don't have a limit on the Koala like first effect, right? Like I could have 25 cards in my hand and still get to draw when I swing with Koala. Hand size, we don't really care. We just want to draw as much as possible. And then we're running 4 copies of this Nico Robin, because this Nico Robin card is just insane, right? It's a 6-cost 7k, and if your leader is Koala, it becomes a 9-cost with blocker. And on play, you can trash a card from your hand to make your opponent trash 2 cards from their hand, which is insane, right? You can see there's a lot of like sneaky hand destruction in this deck with Karasu and Robin. You could probably like pivot into just like swapping some of these cards out and going for a more even stronger like hand destruction build. But I think it's good to have like some sneaky ones, and then the rest actually being like generally good cards. And then, of course, we have 4 copies of this Kuma. This Kuma is one of the best cards in the game right now. And it being a 6-cost 7k with counter that can heal you once and then heal once again on removal, or on KO rather. And it being a 6-cost makes it cheatable out of dragon. Like, how crazy is that? If you just go like, oh, let's see our curve, right? We go couple searchers on 2, and then on 4 we can either drop like a Shirahoshi, do some more searches, or we can just drop a Morley straight up. On 6 we can now drop a Kuma or a Robin, or even like a blocker if we're feeling like we want to be a little bit more defensive. And then boom, on 8, pop, drop down the fucking dragon, go into Kuma, heal again, boom, next turn, boom, 8-cost dragon, boom, heal again, boom, 8-cost dragon Kuma, 8-cost dragon Kuma, 8-cost dragon Kuma. It's just such a crazy fucking combo. And if you're able to mill yourself hard enough, you can do the thing that Lucci does, right? Where he starts like stacking his deck so that he just keeps throwing like dragons back to the bottom of my deck, and then we draw back into them. Could be really insane. And especially when like we have heals, right? That's where this card becomes really fucking good, because we can like sit comfortably at like 0 to 1 health and just like keep healing. And we can also stack the bottom of our deck with these. Like, let's say I have all these 3 in the trash, right? Oh no, we can't, because Dragon is Rev Army locked. He can only send Rev Army cards to the trash, to the deck from the trash. This is a different concept I have. Another deck ID where we stack the deck with these at the bottom and then just like infinitely heal. I'll get back to you once the sim is updated with that. It's going to be super sick. But yeah, I think we've gone over most of the cards here, right? We have this counter event here. I'm running this at 2. What we're doing is we're running 8 2k counters in Morley and Kuma here. And then we're running this at 2. It's basically Rad Beam, but with a different condition. It's plus 2k and then another 2k if you control an 8 cost or higher character, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters that like count themselves as 8 costs, right? This is just an 8 cost, this becomes an 8 cost, and these all become 8 costs as well. So easy, super easy to trigger Rad Beam like event. Super strong, could go up in this probably, but I need to do some playtesting, see just how defensive we need to be and how strong this could be. I think that's all of the cards, dude. I can't wait for this deck to like actually come out on the sim so I can run these cards. Because with this new dragon, dude, it's just so good, right? Dropping an 8 cost that just brings back a 6 cost, and that 6 cost being able to be something like Kuma or Robin, which are some of the most busted cards in the game. And then if I need to go wide, boom, we just go Koala into Morley. And like if we do that, right? If we go Dragon, Koala, Morley, now we have 2 8 costs on the board, and we can start drawing cards with leader ability. And the same goes if I go just Kuma or Robin, right? They're also 8 costs, so I can, again, trigger leader ability. So I think filling the trash is going to be super important, which is why we'll run this, which is why there's also an argument that you could go up in this, right? We literally might just cut Shirahoshi because we want to run a as heavy Rev Army build as possible, just so we can make sure that we always have 3 Rev Armies in trash on our 8th on turn, and then hopefully the next turn as well, and the next turn as well, and the next turn as well, so we can keep like just doing dragons. Because if we can do that, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Unfortunately, there's no way to bring back 8 costs from the trash at the moment. Like we have Mancherry and Rebecca, right? But Mancherry hits a 5 or less, and Rebecca hits a 3 to 7 cost. So we don't have any way to bring this back yet. But if we do find that, or if we even get that in this set, oh shit, dude, it's gonna be so cracked. It's gonna be so crazy. Like imagine if Mancherry picked this back up, 10 Dawn turn, just Mancherry into Dragon, and then just keep doing that every turn. That would be insane. But yeah, this is the deck list here. If you have any IDs, any cards that you've been wanting to try in the deck or something, and maybe you have some sneaky tech that I don't have, please do let me know in the comments below. So I can check that out, because I'm super interested. I'm going to be maining Koala for OP-12 for sure. This deck looks super strong and super hype. Other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you're as excited about Koala as I am. I am super excited, especially with the new dragon reveal. That card is just insane. It's so insanely strong. And now being able to have, enough reveals so we can actually build a deck, it's very exciting. I don't know what other cards we're waiting for. Maybe an Inazuma would be cool. But otherwise, I think we have majority of the Rev Army characters. Maybe we could get a Bunny Joe. That would be sick. Bunny Joe hasn't gotten any love recently. Hack as well we could get. There's a bunch of Rev Armies that we could still be getting printed in this set. Probably not as good, right? Dragon and like Robin and Kuma, like those are like the main people that from the Rev Army, right? That we could get as super rares, but we could still get some commons, uncommons, maybe even rares that could be really strong. So if you're excited about that, please let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.